Hi and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a bear trap turned mimic. The thing that I like about this is that I found some random items that of course I squirreled away for a rainy day, and then I came across them the other day and realized, wait, now I know what I'm going to do with you. So if anything, this video is only going to encourage your hoarding tendencies, so sorry about that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. You can also reach me at thecraftingmuse.email@gmail.com. While you're here, make sure you subscribe and you can hit that notification bell if you want to get notices when I've uploaded the latest video. That's it for now. I hope you enjoy. Thanks very much. Bye. For the teeth, you're going to want a wooden coffee stir, and you're also going to want a strong pair of nippers, and what you're basically going to do are cut out triangle shapes, and I did this just by kind of doing a diagonal cut back and forth, and this gives you the shape you're going to want for the teeth for the bear trap and the bear trap mimic. It helps to make sure that you keep that stir close to the base of the nippers to make sure you're not splitting the stir as you cut. Another thing you can do is moisten it just a little bit, and that extra bit of water will help it keep from splintering as much. So you just want to go through and cut these out. You're going to need probably about 10 for each trap. On the safe side, cut out about 12 for each trap, just in case one of the points splits or it fractures apart. This finding came from the back of a toy packaging thing that we got with my kids. They're using these a lot more now in place of screws, so keep an eye out for these because they really do work perfectly as a bear trap. So the first thing you're going to do is take your hot glue gun and run a bead along the outside of one of these findings. Then, taking those wooden triangles, you're going to place it carefully into the hot glue and basically line it up so it looks like Jaws now. Not the shark, but the trap. A pair of tweezers will probably make this a little bit easier for those of you who are worried about burning your fingers. But you do need to work quickly because the glue will cool faster. And you want to make sure you do it to both sides so that you have a full round of teeth on the outside of your bear trap. And you should end up something that looks like this. Now that you have the teeth in place, you want to put on a base coat to coat the plastic as well as the wood. To do this, take equal parts Mod Podge and Pavement, and you're going to put a layer of this mixture onto your finding piece. It also helps in this case to have a popsicle stick with a little bit of sticky tack at the one end, and you can stick your pieces onto that sticky tack and it makes it much easier to paint. When your base coat has dried completely, you're then going to go back to using the pavement paint and you're going to paint your finding one more time with that color. When that is dry, you're going to move on to using a color called gunmetal. Again, allow the gunmetal to dry completely, and in this case, you do have two pieces now, one that is just the standard bear trap and one that is going to become your mimic. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to make this bear trap look like a mimic instead. So to do that, you're first going to want Tuscan Red and Daffodil Yellow. You're going to paint the Tuscan Red along the basically gum line of your mimic piece, and then taking the yellow, you're going to paint the yellow onto the teeth. Don't forget to add the red to the tongue area as well, and I just did a smooth, slight coating around the open mouth area of the mimic as well with the red. The next thing you're going to do is taking the Burgundy red as well as the vanilla ice cream. You're going to use these to dry brush along the gum lines and the teeth to act as a highlight for some of the features on the gum line as well as on the teeth themselves. You want to make sure it's a very light touch. You're not going to be heavy-handed with this. It's basically there to bring out the details that are on the gums, the teeth, as well as that tongue in the center. Eye placement is totally up to you, but I decided to do these 5 beady little eyes as you see where I've placed them. To do this, I just used my nail dot detail tool. Again, this thing is very handy if you want to make smaller dots and not make a huge mess of it. First, you're going to put a larger black dot down for each eye that you want to put onto this. I then went back with just a flat white and put a little bit of the white dot on the inside of the black dot, just to give those beady eyes a little glint of something there. So that's how I did the eyes for the mimic. To give the gum line, the teeth, and the tongue some shininess, thanks to some spittle, I decided to use the Elmer's clear glue, and I just did a coat of this around them, just again give them more of a shiny look. To add drool to this mouth, what you then want to do when the glue has dried completely of the Elmer's glue style glue, you go back to your hot glue gun, and I just did a few strands of hot glue around the mouth area to act as drool dripping out of its mouth. To add rust to the standard trap, you're going to use a combination of these two colors of the chocolate bar and the ripe tomato. What you first want to do is, getting sort of a beat up old brush, you're going to take the chocolate bar, dab your paintbrush with the paint onto a paper towel just to pull off a little bit of it, and then you're going to stipple it onto the bear trap piece. You don't want to be heavy-handed, you don't want to get it everywhere, but you want this brown to go on first, then you go back to the ripe tomato and you do the same thing. The combination of this chocolate bar brown and the ripe tomato orange gives you the look of rust when you are done. I wanted to add a length of chain to this just to kind of make this look even more like a bear trap. So basically I found this chain in the jewelry section at Joann Fabrics. You can do the same at Walmart and Michaels. And you're going to take a length of chain, cut it down to the length you want it to be. You're going to go back in using the rust technique that you just saw for the bear trap itself, do the same thing to the chain, and when that has dried, you then take your hot glue gun and you attach the chain to the back of the piece. And that's going to dangle out the one side so that your bear trap and your mimic both have a length of chain. This part, however, is fully optional and up to you if you want to include this. Finally, I decided to give these a wash just to enhance the details a little bit more. For this particular wash, I used the Citadel Anthrax Earthshade. You don't have to use this particular wash if you don't want to. You can just make a brown wash out of some acrylic paint and water if that's what you choose to do. I just chose to go this way because I liked the way it gave it some final details and brought out those little bits of nooks and crannies, especially around the mimic's teeth and gum line. So here is our final look for the bear trap and the bear trap mimic. Remember to keep your eyes out for these lovely little pieces in your packaging and save them so that you too can recreate this look. They'll definitely come in handy for your game and your campaign. If you have any questions, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at thecraftingmuse.email@gmail.com. And if you've liked this video, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe while you are here. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. A dragon's lake. April 3rd, and we still need the flipping heat on. Winter is coming, and it's not going away. Any binging or running or things like that are the children. They're home. It's spring break, and I'm losing my mind. Send help. Bear traps. Owl bear. At least I think he looks like one. You my owl bear? What do you think? Are you my owl bear? Maybe? Possibly? There's the other owl bear. Moving the curtain again. Take 23.